All right, happy Saturday, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. We got 16 MLB games today. We do have a doubleheader. Let's have a bounce back day. Recap from yesterday. Sucked. Absolute trash. Need a good day. Padres, first five, over 2.5. Walker Buehler's a goddamn legend. Cy Young winner, potentially. Rays on the first five. This was plus money. This was our cash. We ended up winning this 1-0. We had the Marlins and the Braves over 8. Cabrera just threw an absolute gem against the Braves. Marlins scored 5. We just couldn't get anything out of the Braves. They managed to score 1. We had the Blue Jays and the Dodgers over 9. Blue Jays just didn't show up. One of the hottest sticks on planet Earth, and none of them showed up. And we had KC, Minnesota under 2.5 runs. This one was just hilarious. First pitch of the game, home run. Okay. And then the Twins just absolutely shit on Seth Lugo and hit couple home runs, so ended up trouncing that one. So 1-4 day. Let's have a strong bounce back today. 5 best bets, including a little 3-leg parlay we're gonna give a shot at. So let's jump into this card, start talking about these games. Kicking us off, first game of the doubleheader, Miami and the Braves. I want to get involved, but doubleheaders just fundamentally, I don't touch the first game of doubleheaders. Just don't do it. I think it's better to just wait, see what happens, see bullpen usage. I think that's going to be the issue here today is what arms are they going to use? Obviously, the Marlins are in significantly better shape because they had Cabrera go 8 innings. So they only had to use Voucher last night. It's going to be Ryan Gusto going up against Hurston Waldrop. Waldrop looked fantastic in that start in the Bristol Speedway against the Reds. But will he look good today? I mean, I'm not holding out hope on this guy. He's okay. But I would lean Marlins in this one. But model-wise, it's very, very straight up. This literally, I almost have it as a tie. So gonna dodge it. Gusto is just not someone I really trust. That said, he's okay against righties, not so good against lefties. Hard hit percentage too high for my liking. But this Braves team they're not hitting. They're hitting 191 against righties over the past week. Can't score with runners in scoring position. This is a top 10 Marlins lineup. So I would lean Marlins in this one. It's going to be 80 degrees. Going to be a 10-mile-an-hour wind today. Pretty much just ever so slightly blowing in. But yeah, this is one I would lean Marlins, but not going to touch the first game of a doubleheader. Next game is going to be the Astros and the Yankees. Astros pulled it off yesterday. I thought the Yankees were going to win, but man, Devin Williams better get his act together. He is awful. I think the Yankees got themselves a lemon, and the Brewers are feeling pretty damn good right now. Valdez, 7-4 on the road this season. Obviously, last game was not good. He had one really bad inning where he got absolutely shelled by Boston. But prior to that, he had won 6 straight road games. So going up against Luis Gil, didn't have the greatest first outing for Gil. You're getting a very affordable price to take for Amber Valdez. So this is one I would lean the Astros in this one. I think Valdez has a nice bounce back start. This is just a Yankees team that is struggling a little bit. That said, they are hitting lefties, but this is an Astros team that's hitting righties extremely well. So I'm not going to fade them here. It would be Astros for me in this spot. Only thing that concerns me are the splits with Valdez, giving up a 250 average to lefties. Hard hit percentage is a lot higher than I would like, but Luis Gil just didn't look impressive. That said, he 3.1 innings, so we really can't base everything off of that. But like I said, it would be Astros for me in this spot. Next game is going to be the Nationals and the Giants, 405. Going to be Brad Lord going up against Carson Whisenhunt. So I do like the Giants here. It's just simply put, the Nationals can't hit lefties. They are hitting 186 over the past 2 weeks against lefties, hitting 139 over the past week with a 9 WRC plus, and this is a Giants team that offensively is starting to heat up. 1-5-0 yesterday. That said, Brad Lord has looked really good. He is a prime candidate for regression, and I think that happens today. Lord's been going about 4-ish innings in this new kind of starter role he's fell into, but I don't love his pitch mix here. 70% is fastball. Giants love the fastball. They're 4th over the last 30 days hitting the fastball, and they get the home field advantage. It's going to be 68 degrees, so a little warmer than what we've normally seen. About a 13, 15 mile an hour wind blowing out, but that has pretty negligible effects here. Like the pitch mix for Whisenhunt against this squad. Give me the Giants -1, and we're also going to use them in one of our parlays, or in our parlay, I should say. All right, next game going to be the Angels and the Tigers. My God, millions of parlays were almost destroyed. Huge 3-run home run by the Tigers to give them the lead last night against this susceptible Angels bullpen. But we got Charlie Morton, Grandpa Charlie, going up against Yusei Kikuchi. Kikuchi on the road's just not been good. 4.27 ERA. But Charlie Morton's 4.68 at home. I actually liked how Morton looked in his last start. Velo was pretty good. He was hitting 96 pretty frequently. Curveball had a decent amount of bite to it. So should be able to rack up some Ks today. His K line's 5.5. He's heavily skewed to go over that. It would be the Tigers for me. So give me the Tigers in this spot. Another team we're going to use in our 3-leg parlay here. So give me the Tigers on the money line. Next game is going to be the Reds and the Pirates, kicking us off at 6:40. So kind of jumping into the, I guess we'll say the Angels or the evening slate. But Reds have lost 3 straight games, lost 2 straight in this series. Chase Burns looked fantastic yesterday, racked up 10 Ks. Tony Santillan just kind of blew it for the Reds yesterday. They had a 2-1 lead and ended up losing 3-2. Nick Martinez on the bump going up against Braxton Ashcraft. So essentially kind of a bullpen day for this Pirates group. Bullpen that I don't necessarily trust. I would love to take the Reds here. I do think they win. I can't get behind Nick Martinez. He is just not good, in my opinion. Splits over the last 30 days. 245 average to lefties, 263 to righties. Hard hit percentage is pretty low, but he's awful with runners in scoring position. 309 average. Ashcraft, 238 to lefties, 303 to righties. But again, we won't see him but maybe 2 innings today, so not going to read a ton into that. It's going to be 86 degrees, 6-mile-an-hour wind that's going to be slightly blowing in. Reds team total would be the way I would go over this, but it's too juiced. It's 4.5, so no play in this one. But I do lean Reds at this price. I think they should bounce back and win, but can't put my money behind Nick Martinez. Let's see, Baltimore and Oakland. This one's going to be Jack Perkins going up against Brandon Young. Perkins only about 23 innings under his belt, but he does have 23 Ks. Brandon Young, he's got 41 innings under his belt, got almost a 6 ERA, jumps to almost 7 in 5 home starts. I still think Baltimore probably wins this, but not something I want to get behind. There's some value. There's some value taking the O's at this price at home. But like I said, I don't trust either of these pitchers. So this is a complete fade spot for me. But I do lean the Orioles in this game. Next one's going to be the Guardians and the White Sox. Joey Cantillo going up against Sean Burke. Now, I like in this one is the over. This cashed with ease yesterday, so this is going to be our official play. White Sox have definitely cooled off against lefties. There was last week they were, maybe a week and a half ago, super hot against lefties. They've definitely cooled off, but the pitch mix is still decent for them. They're kind of mid in everything Cantillo throws. We saw in Cantillo's last start, he gave up 4 runs immediately. I believe it was the Twins, and they ended up just couldn't come back from that deficit. So I do think Chicago's able to get to him. Home runs are going to be up about 20% today. It's going to be a warm day, 91 degrees, about a 14-mile-an-hour wind blowing right to left. I think Sean Burke should get hit up here. Don't love his splits, and Cantillo should get hit. So we're just going to take the over and hope they just pound each other into submission. I think with a lefty on the mound, White Sox have a fighting chance, but at this price, I'm not paying that. So just going to take the over. Kansas City and the Twins. So Seth Lugo got absolutely destroyed yesterday. And today we get Noah Cameron going up against Bailey Ober. So Bailey Ober, definitely not somebody I trust at home. He's got almost a 5 ERA. His splits not looking good over the last 30 days. That said, he doesn't have a ton of innings over the last 30 days. But I like Noah Cameron a lot in this spot. This is great. I love the bounce back factor here. I think the Royals should be able to get to Bailey Ober. Give me the Twins, or not the Twins. Give me the Royals on the money line. Minus 120 on BetMGM is one of our best bets today. And then next game is going to be the Mets and the Brewers. Brew Crew just keep rolling, man. They've won 7 in a row, 9-1 in their last 10. Mets have lost 5 straight, 1-9 in their last 10. So this is an interesting one. It is Frankie Montas that is supposed to be pitching. However, Their manager feels like if they use an opener, maybe he won't get crushed. Okay. Tobias Myers going for the Brewers. Now, he's not going to go long. Obviously, Myers was a starter last year. He's kind of been up and down between the majors and the minors. Just got recalled for pitching today, but he's only going to give you about 1-2 innings. I don't think he's stretched out enough to go terribly far, although the numbers, K-line's 3.5, so maybe they're thinking he goes 3 or 4 innings today. But I do love the Brewers in this spot. At some point, Frankie the Fade Montas is coming in, and that's just meat for the beast. So give me the Brew Crew on the money line today. Splits for Montas, 417 average to lefties over the last 30 days, 261 to righties, elevated hard hit percentage, almost a 400 average with runners in scoring position, and he's got an 8.10 ERA on the road. So if you want to, maybe wait until Montas is about to come into the game. Might be able to get the Brew Crew at a better price. Maybe they end up scoring one off of Myers, and you can get this at plus money, but I went ahead and locked it in early just in case they jump on whoever the opener is. So from what I could read, that was their plan today, was to use an opener, then bring in Frankie the Fade, probably his last start with this team, if I had to guess, if he gets rocked again today. All right, then it's the second game of our doubleheader between the Marlins and the Braves. It's going to be Sandy Alcantara going up against Eric Fetty. Zigzag effect. I think they split today. So whoever loses game one, which I think is probably going to be the Marlins, maybe. I don't know. They could sweep them both. But I do like the Marlins a lot in this spot, just simply put, because Eric Fetty's on the other side. Fetty's been awful. That said, Alcantara has not been much better, but he is 6-10 on the season. Fetty 3-12, but they both have 263 opponent averages. They both have ERAs that are highly elevated. Fetty's got a 5.32 ERA, Alcantara 6.44, but that ERA jumps to almost 9 on the road. So technically, Braves have the advantage with the pitching, which is scary. Fetty, his splits, 333 against lefties, 282 against righties over the last 30 days. Alcantara has just been getting destroyed by righties, and there's a lot of righties that can get you in this Braves lineup. So a little scared to take them. I don't know how over 8.5 would be how I'd love to play this, especially if the first game, they just typically inverse each other, right? So if there's a lot of runs in the first game, there's typically low runs in the second. So if I see low runs in the first game, I'm hitting this over 8.5 pretty strongly, because two bad pitchers that can definitely give up some runs. All right, next game is going to be the Cubbies and the Cardinals. It's going to be Colin Rea going up against Andre Palante. So this is one. Colin Rea has been great on the season, on the road. They're 5-2 when he's on the road. Splits doesn't look fantastic. ERA's okay, about a 4. Both of these guys are very, very similar in terms of their numbers. Biggest difference is Ray is a fly ball pitcher, Palante's a ground ball pitcher, but pitch mix looks awful for him. Love the Cubs today to bounce back after that loss yesterday. They just couldn't hit. They absolutely got beat down. Now, I said it yesterday, Cardinals have been very good against lefties, so that is why I liked them yesterday at that price. But against righties, it's a complete opposite story. Worst hitting team in baseball against righties. Dead last. 194 average, 66 WRC plus over the last 30 days. I think the Cubs have a bounce back day. I like them in this spot today, especially at this price. So that's going to be the last team that we use in our 3-leg parlay. So give me the Cubbies there. Phillies and the Rangers. It is going to be Jacob deGrom going up against Jesus Luzardo. Luzardo on the season's got a 3.36 ERA on the road. deGrom's got a sub-2 ERA at home, but he is vulnerable. We did see him lose. Splits over the last 30 days, 222 against lefties, 221 against righties. So kind of right on that Mendoza line. And then Jesus Luzardo, 107 lefty on lefty, 200 average against righties. I would take the Phillies here. Give me the Phillies at this price. Yeah, I'll take it. After the beatdown they just threw on them yesterday, I think they're going to be able to hit deGrom to some degree. I don't think it's going to be a massive one. So I would take the over 7 and the Phillies in the spot. Next game is going to be the Rockies and the D-backs. D-backs didn't show up yesterday, so this is one. Now you get Eduardo Rodriguez going up against Bradley Blaylock. Blaylock has looked pretty good. His last 3 starts have been fairly serviceable, but again, too high of a price. Just not a game I'm willing to touch. Do the Rockies lose? Probably. They're 14-43 on the road. They've lost 5 straight. And the D-backs are 28-30 at home. But there is, simply put, there's no value to take anything in this game. And I don't trust them enough to use them as a parlay piece. Next game is going to be Boston and the Padres. Nick Pivetta got absolute shit on last night, and the Rockies destroyed him. Now, you got Michael King coming back today. His last game was on May 18th. So we're paying a pretty high price for a guy that has been out for quite a while. Going up against Lucas Giolito, who is 8-2 on the season with a 3 ERA on the road. Oh, I mean, I think the Padres probably win, but at this price, I think you kind of have to go Boston just because you're getting plus 130 to take them against Michael King, and we don't really know what he's going to look like after several months of not being in the MLB. So, soft lean towards Boston, I guess, there. Toronto and the Dodgers. Blake Snell. Let's see what we get out of old Blake Snell going up against Chris Bassett. I think Blake Snell is able to find some success today with this pitch mix. The question is, will he have control issues? He's got a 12% walk rate, only an 18% K rate. So a little too uncertain for me, but man, Bassett on the road has been awful. 6.45 ERA and 11 starts. Basically a 2.35 average to both sides of the dish over the last 30 days. But he's been fairly serviceable with runners in scoring position. It's going to be 80 degrees with a 10-mile-an-hour wind blowing out. It's got to be Dodgers for me. Maybe Dodgers -1 would be the way I would go. Could definitely see using them in maybe some type of parlay piece on the money line, but just not sure about Blake Snell, man. I think he's capable of throwing a no-hitter or just absolutely getting shit on. So a little too uncertain for me right now. And the last game on the card is going to be Tampa Bay and Seattle. So we had the Rays on the first 5, came through for us yesterday. Ended up losing the full game, but didn't really care about that. They definitely have a pitching advantage today with Joe Boyle. Joe Boyle splits over the last 30 days have been absolutely fantastic. 190 average to lefties, 160 to righties. Logan Evans is he's pretty high, 333 to lefties, 286 to righties. I would go right back to the Rays on the first 5, just not getting as good a value today, but the pitch mix looks awful for Evans, so it would probably be the Rays on the money line for me in this spot. All right, best bets, and we'll get out of here and get on our way with the day. So first one, like I said, going to be the Guardians and the White Sox over 8.5. I think the White Sox are able to hit Cantillo. And I think the Guardians should be able to get to Sean Burke, so we're just going to take the over. Giants -1, trusting Wisenhunt to go do what he's done and just be really good lefty on lefty, and trusting that Brad Lord will have a little bit of regression and Giants will be able to continue their offensive streak of scoring some runs here. Brewers on the money line. Like I said, Frankie the Fade will come in this game at some point. That's when the Brewers will strike. Royals on the money line, like the bounce back factor between Noah Cameron, Bailey Ober. After a big loss yesterday, I like the Royals to bounce back. And then a little 3-leg parlay with the Giants, Tigers, and the Cubs. I think Cubs is definitely the wish-washy one, right? So if you're not feeling that, Giants, Tigers, Dodgers, I did look at that. It just drops the value way, way down. So I wanted something right around that plus 400 mark. So this is what I went with. So those are the plays. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next video.